What's up, Dreamwarriors? Welcome back to another episode of a podcast on Elm Street. I'm Mark.
And I'm Brooke.
And this week we're coming at you with our first franchise episode of our birthday month. We had so much fun doing this back in, what month is that? October?
Yeah, October, yeah.
Back in October. So we decided to do it again for our birthday month of March. And kicking it off, we're doing the Wrong Turn franchise.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be a very fun discussion.
Very, yeah.
We have some differing thoughts based off of our letterboxd ratings, but we'll get a little bit deeper into that as we move on.
Yep.
But yeah, this franchise, it spans from 2003 to 2021. 7 movies.
Yeah.
There was the original and then 5 sequels after that, and then a reboot that came out in 2021.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have fun with it.
Me too.
I'm hoping you will too.
The discussion will be fine, yeah.
Yeah. All right. But before we talk about that, let's hop into news and booze. So, Brooke, what have you been doing besides watching 7 Wrong Turn movies?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, apart from that, not much else. So yeah, I watched 7 Wrong Turn movies in a span of 3 days.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, it was rough. But yeah, other than that, didn't really watch anything. Randomly put on Our Idiot Brother.
Okay.
I don't know. I just was high on Saturday, Friday. I don't know. I just want to watch a comedy and I haven't watched it in a while, so I threw it on. Love Paul Rudd. Really big cast actually, before even like a lot of people in that movie blew up.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it, but
I have, but I don't remember anything about it. Who's in it?
Paul Rudd, Adam Scott, like I can't think of it right now, but it's a stat cast.
Nice.
And then I watched Reservoir Dogs, because I haven't had it logged for my IMDb list, so figured I'd watch that, and still fantastic movie.
It is.
That's pretty much it. I got Audible, as you know, and I bought Green Lights, the Matthew McConaughey book, as like a free credit. So I finished that today. Really liked it. It's fantastic.
Nice. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like you and I talked, like if he didn't narrate it, it probably wouldn't be quite as good, but
yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's like a biography, but it's also not at the same time. It's kind of just him like telling stories.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool. Yeah. As for me, I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox after you talked about it a couple episodes ago.
Nice.
I loved it, man. Like that movie is so fucking good.
Yeah. That was your first time watching it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I was surprised how much I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And how much, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like such a good story.
Yeah.
For a stop motion animation movie. I don't know. I was surprised.
Yeah.
And then I watched Ossos,
Hmm.
which was for our Criterion collection,
I think Belgium, I think.
Portugal.
Portugal. Okay.
Yeah, so it's the Portugal movie for the Criterion Challenge. You also watched it for that, and we've been trying to not watch the same movies for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was only three Portugal movies, and all three of them are part of a trilogy, and this is the first movie in the trilogy, so
Yeah.
I kind of don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I finally watched Megan,
Nice.
and
Buddy.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. I wanted to rewatch it because they released the unrated version.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it was good. But yeah, other than that, not too much going on besides the seven wrong turn movies.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you what you're drinking though. So what are you drinking tonight?
Well, drinking kind of fitting for this movie. Um,
Like a backwoods brewery?
you could say that. Who was it even made by? I don't even think. Procter and Gamble.
What?
Um, little Pepto Bismol.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh
uh,
shit.
I know you did enjoy that.
That was good.
Uh, I actually drank some Pepto tonight, so but no, I'm drinking Flying Monkeys
Oh,
Crowd Surf Passion Fruit IPA.
is that a new one?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm,
Yes,
the fucking Pepto Bismol.
that's good. That's
Nice.
good.
Nice.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a glass of whiskey. My whiskey. I'm
Very
all out of
nice.
beer and I forgot to stop on my way home, so better than that shitty apple cider that I was drinking.
Yeah.
For anyone that may not remember, in the first Wrong Turn movie, the whole Pepto Bismol joke.
Yeah, and the second movie as
Yeah,
well.
he was in the second one as well. But like the harbinger of death was sitting there drinking a bottle of Pepto Bismol.
Yeah.
And it's dripping all down his face, and he's just
Yeah.
disgusting.
He's just like dehydrated, just drinking this Pepto.
Yeah. Yeah. He looks very relaxed while he's drinking it though.
He did, yeah. Yeah.
um, I'm an idiot
I
and
was gonna say something, but we got too
I
far into it.
I forgot a news story. So I'm just gonna drop one that everybody already knows. Scream 6 is out now.
Oh, really? When?
So that's fun.
Right now?
It's out right now. We
Yeah.
should be at the theaters watching it, but instead we chose to record an episode on opening night.
Yeah. I mean,
But we can go tomorrow.
yes. Well, I'm going tomorrow. I already got my
Yeah,
tickets, but
I'm probably not going till Sunday. But yeah, I knew I was going to drop the ball in this news thing eventually, and it only took 3 episodes. So
it's okay. It's
here we
okay.
go.
Um, well,
Oh,
luckily mine's a bit easier than what you have to do. So this week for 4Ks, not much this week. There's no horror movies.
yeah.
Um, so basically, Rocky 2 Steelbook in 4K.
Mm,
There's a Criterion collection that came out. Never heard of it. Called Mildred Pierce. Never heard
nope.
of it. The Mask of Zorro
Oh,
Steelbook. That'd be sick to own.
like Antonio Banderas.
Yeah,
That would be sick.
I love that movie. And then Air Force One,
Oh,
and that's it.
actually, I did see the Air Force one. Somebody posted about that. Hmm. I haven't watched that movie in so long.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I remember it being very good.
Mhm.
Tommy Lee Jones is a good villain in that one.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. But I think you mentioned it on our last episode that the Rocky collection, like the first
Yeah,
4 movies or 5 movies, came out on
yeah,
4K.
yeah.
Films at Home did a video on it. I haven't watched it yet, but based on the title of his video, it sounds like people are shitting on it quite a
Oh,
bit.
really?
Because the title of his video is like, it's not that bad or something like that.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
I'm interested to see what he has to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, short and sweet news and
Yeah.
booze.
Uh, Pause for 2 seconds. I gotta run and get some Kleenex. My nose has been leaking all day.
All right. All right. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember. Oh, in more personal news, I cut off all my hair.
Cop?
I cut off all my hair.
Oh, I think you said a cop cut your hair off.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess you could be.
Let's see how much.
All of it, man. It's short. Short.
Oh shit, looks good, man. Nice.
Yeah, there's nothing left. Well, it's not like buzzed, but
No, it's still pretty long.
it was clippered right down. She finally sat me down on the chair.
Horse you?
I was kind of getting a little sick of it. Time for a change. Kept
Yeah,
falling in my face and shit.
yeah.
All right. Ready to talk about this movie?
Is
Yes. All right, let's cue
movies.
movies. Yes.
Yep.
All right, let's cue the scene. All right, like we said in the intro, this week we are talking about the Wrong Turn franchise, spanning across 7 movies from 2003 to 2021. Starting off with a franchise rundown. Wrong Turn is an American slasher film series created by Alan B. McElroy. The series consists of 7 films, 6 of which are from the same continuity, while the final installment is a reboot. The first 6 films focus on various families of deformed cannibals who hunt and kill people in West Virginia in horrific ways by using a mixture of traps and weaponry. The reboot features a centuries old cult in Virginia who respond violently to outsiders who intrude on their self sufficient civilization. The franchise should be watched in the following order rather than by release dates, as the timeline does contain prequels to the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings, Wrong Turn 5, Bloodlines, Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort, Wrong Turn, Wrong Turn 2, Dead End, and lastly, Wrong Turn 3, Left for Dead. So every
Yep.
movie prior to Wrong Turn 2 focuses on the trio of One Eye, Sawtooth, and Three Finger as the 3 main antagonists. Although we do see, well, and we also see more villains throughout the franchise as well, but they're all kind of like part of one family, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the reboot has an entire cult led by a man named John as the antagonist in that one. So
Yep.
the reboot kind of took the foundation. Well, it's ironic, took the foundation because that's what it's called, and kind of made it its own, which I'm good
Mhm.
with. I think the first 6 movies kind of overstayed their welcome a little bit with that storyline.
Yeah.
So it was a refreshing change to the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of glad that they went that route.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had anything to add to that. No.
No,
Okay.
not really.
All right. There's a lot of different directors on this franchise.
Yeah.
The first one, Wrong Turn, is directed by Rob Schmidt, and this was his only movie really worth noting, so I didn't write any of the other ones down. Wrong Turn 2 was directed by Joe Lynch, who did 4 episodes of Creepshow. He did Mayhem with Stephen Yun, and he did Knights of Badassdom. Wrong Turn 3 to 5 was directed by Declan O'Brien. He actually sadly passed away last year. I think he was only like 52, something like that. But he did Joyride 3, Sharktopus, and 3 TV movies that don't rank above a 3 on IMDb, so I didn't bother writing their names down. Wrong Turn 6 is directed by Valerie Milev. Again, nothing worth mentioning. And the reboot was directed by Mike P. Nelson, who did The Domestics, and he's part of the upcoming VHS 85 anthology. But yeah. So Alan B. McElroy was the writer on Wrong Turn, and then he came back and wrote the reboot as well.
Mhm.
But he didn't. He had writing credits for all the other ones, but I don't think he was one of the main writers. I think they just credited him because of the characters that he created.
Mhm.
But yeah. Um, for the cast list, I was texting you, and I basically refused to do the cast list for this because there's
Yeah.
7 fucking movies, and I'm not going through every single one of them
Yeah.
to write down any notable characters. But I don't know. You said you had some things that you wanted to mention with it.
Yeah, like I just wrote down the people who either I knew or like looked familiar,
Okay.
so I can go through those if
Sure.
you're cool with it.
Mhm.
So pretty much only from the first two movies.
Yeah.
The reboot, there's like a couple people who look familiar, but well, actually, the guy that plays Venable or John, he
Mhm.
played Van Zant from American Psycho. I forget which guy he was, but he was one of the friends, I think, in
Okay.
like the card room scene, I think.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
anyways, so Wrong Turn one, obviously we got Eliza Dushku. I don't
Yep.
know if that's how you say her name.
Yep. You nailed it.
Thank you. Yeah, she's just recognizable. I don't know, can't really tell you what else she's been in, but I know that she's gorgeous, and
Mhm.
that's pretty much it. Kevin Seegers,
Mhm.
he kind of looks like a familiar face. I forget what else he's been in.
Airbud, man.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And then lastly, Julian Richings,
Mhm.
who played
Three finger.
Three Finger. I forget what I saw that he was in, but he's like a recognizable face. He kind of
Mhm.
looks like Richard Brake, like that kind of guy.
Yeah, he kind of also reminds me of uh Crispin Glover.
Yes, yes. Yeah, like he was in Urban Legend. He played the weird janitor in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few other people, a few other movies. But yeah, that's pretty much it from that movie. And then
I have a
Rob,
couple to add
oh,
for that
okay.
one. Emmanuel Creaky was in it as well. She played Carly. I can't remember what she used to be in, but I was fucking obsessed with her growing up.
Hmm.
Don't mess with the Zohan. She was in Waiting. Uh, she was in a few other things, but her and Desmond Harrington, he's in it too, and he was in Ghost Ship and Dexter, Manhunt. Um, I don't know. He's just a recognizable face too. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
whole cast is like a very good looking cast.
It is. Yeah, yeah,
Like Eliza Dushku, Emmanuel Creaky, like even the other girl, and then like uh Jeremy Sisto's in it as well.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. And then for Ron Turn two, we got Henry Rollins, who is known. I forget what band he's known for, but he was on Sons of Anarchy, played a
Yes, that's right.
skinhead in that. Yeah,
What was Henry Rollins? Yeah. He was fucking intense in this movie, man. I
he
loved it.
was. He played his character well because he's like a former Marine, basically, and like he fits it perfectly.
Yeah. He was in Black Flag.
Black Flag. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Then we got we were texting about this. The probably the coolest name ever, Texas Battle. Um, I don't know how he didn't get brought up or that name didn't get brought up during our Final Destination franchise.
Yeah, we must have missed that one.
Yeah, we must have missed that.
I
But yeah, Texas Battle, crazy name. I
wonder if that's his real name
don't know. Maybe
because it sounds like a porn star name.
it does.
Like he's
It really
definitely a male
does.
porn star.
Yeah. Alexa Palladino, she played Michael's wife on Boardwalk Empire.
Okay, I've never seen that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Daniela Alonso.
Mhm.
She played I forget what character, but she played uh a girlfriend slash sister in One Tree Hill.
Okay. Oh
I
yeah,
think
I
it
think
was
I
in
did see
like
that.
maybe season like 5 or just like
Hmm.
later in the series.
Yeah.
Then we got another crazy name, also from Final Destination 3. Yonke Crystal Low.
Yeah.
I
Her name
I
was
don't know.
nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, she was also in Final Destination 3, played one
Mhm.
of the tanning bed girls.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyone else that
Mm, not really. I mean, yeah, like you said, there's a couple other movies where like some of the people look familiar. The dad in the reboot looked really familiar.
Oh, that's yeah, Matthew Modine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it looks so
And
familiar.
then the girl that plays, I think Edith is her name, like the
Hmm.
not the main chick, but like the main girl that's like in the foundation.
Yeah.
She kind of looked familiar, but like I looked her up and didn't really know her from much.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the budget gets it seems to get like smaller and smaller with every episode or with every movie in this franchise. So I think they
Yeah.
just like started getting shittier and shitty actors.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
That's it. Sign off. See you later. All right, let's talk about this franchise, man.
Let's do it. Um, so yeah, this franchise, definitely the first Wrong Turn I've seen multiple times. Really enjoy it, can watch it any time of the year. As for the rest of the movies, honestly didn't remember any of them except for number 2 I've seen before. It's been a long time. Didn't
Hmm.
remember anything really from that movie, maybe like a couple parts. Number 3 I definitely had not seen.
Okay.
Number 4 I've seen before,
Mm.
and then 5 and 6 definitely didn't see.
Okay.
And then obviously the new Run Turn I watched when it first
Hmm.
came out.
Yeah. Um, for me, I didn't remember ever watching five,
Mhm.
and three was very vague. Like I may have watched it. I feel like I remembered some parts of it, but like
Yeah,
definitely not the entire thing.
yeah,
But yeah, I agree with you. The original one, I can watch that movie any day of the week
yeah.
and
I
have a good time
think
with it.
I think a little bit of like nostalgia plays a
Yeah,
part in it for me because that was like what 2003.
yeah.
So
So
like that was like prime age for like both of us. Like I was like
mhm,
13 or 14 when it came out.
yeah, it was
So
one of those movies that you'd rent with a whole bunch of friends and just watch it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But like, I agree with the nostalgia factor, but I still think it's a really well made movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the actors are all big enough name actors. Like
Hmm.
we recognize pretty much everybody that's on that cast list. Even the Harbinger guy, like what was he in? I know that I saw him on IMDb, and he was in a big movie. Um, he just passed away too a
And there
little while
wasn't
ago.
really any CGI at all in the first one.
No, yeah, it was good. They did a great job with it. Wayne Robson passed away in 2011. Oh, he was in the Red Green Show.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, he was also in like Dolores Claiborne, Cube.
Hmm.
So,
Actually, I just remembered someone else that we fail at for not mentioning from number
oh, Doug
movie
Bradley.
5. Yeah,
Doug
yeah,
Bradley. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was surprised to see him in like a full role with like no makeup on or anything like
I
that.
know, and like the little like pinhead, like little joke that he made during that movie. I don't know if
I
you
don't know if I
caught
caught
that.
it. I don't think I
No,
caught that.
whenever he first like walks into their house and all is like, I don't know if they're his kids or whatever, but
Mhm.
He's like, "You bunch of pinheads."
Oh. Yeah, that went over my head for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did a good job though. I
Yeah.
I enjoyed him.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like this franchise, it's weird, man. Like, because so like we have the how many? There's three beginnings, bloodlines, last resort. Yeah, so we have three prequels to the original movie,
Yeah.
and like they all follow the three main cannibals. Like, and in
Yeah.
Bloody Beginnings, they start off as like teenagers, and then they move up and like they get
Yeah.
older through each movie. But like in uh Last Resort, the main character inherits this fucking mansion resort hotel fucking thing. Like where the
Yeah.
hell did that come from?
Yeah. I have no idea.
Because we find out he's part of this family, this Hilliker family.
And like he has no idea either that he's a part of it.
Yeah. And like in um four, so Bloody Beginnings, we see them starting off in like an insane asylum
Yeah.
or a sanatorium is what they
Yeah.
called it. And then all of a sudden they're at this ski resort and like the hillbillies are at the ski resort. Like, how the fuck did they get there?
Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
like it's nowhere near anywhere else. It's just like this secluded place on like a mountain.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, it seems like it jumped all over the place from movie to movie.
Well,
It's like
apparently all the movies take place in West Virginia,
mhm,
except for the reboot. It takes place in just Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
So I don't know how much snow or even if West Virginia gets snow.
I think they do.
Maybe in some parts of it, like more northern part.
I think they do. Does West Virginia get snow? Oh yeah, they get snow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yearly average snow amounts across the CWA. I'm not sure what that is, but can span anywhere from less than an inch to over 100 inches per year,
Hmm.
generally
Okay.
accumulating anywhere between 30 and 150 inches. Holy fuck.
Damn.
In the mountains, it says.
Oh, that
Jesus.
that makes sense. Yeah. So do you think the sanatorium turned into the hotel?
That's kind of what I was maybe thinking, but like, yeah, I guess it could. I guess it could have.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
like they said that that hotel was in the family for like centuries though, didn't they?
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it was just a story they're putting out
Yeah.
there.
They don't really say exactly how long in between each movie either.
No, but we follow the
No.
same three
Yeah.
villains. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like I would say from Bloody Beginnings to Last Resort, they probably age like
Mhm.
maybe 30 years.
And like, I mean, we're skipping a whole bunch of movies, but as we're on the topic, like, so in number six, the three of them are related to the Jackson and Beth. Is that their names?
Jackson and
The
Sally? Sadie?
Sally, I think Sally,
Sally? Yeah.
the brother and sister.
Yeah. So
So
again,
like,
yeah.
where were they? Like, where was this whole group of people
Hmm.
in the other movies?
And
Well,
why are they
especially number
not?
five.
Yeah.
And like in number five, Bradley is, I don't know exactly what he is to them, but he's like, he looks after them and like teaches them how to do stuff. And then like at the end of five, they drive away with the girl that has no eyes.
Hmm.
And then the next movie just like a whole different story.
Yeah. Doug Bradley's nowhere to be found. This girl's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Um, and like he keeps calling them my boys, my boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then in the original Wrong Turn, the guy who's drinking the Pepto,
Mhm.
he calls them his sons.
Mhm.
Because whenever Desmond Harrington's character is talking about them, he's like calling them like fucking hillbillies and like inbred fucks and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then finally, the old guy like fucking loses his mind and
Mhm.
lets loose, saying that he's talking about his family or like talking about his kids or his boys or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, who's he?
Yeah.
Is that like, is he Doug Bradley? Like
Yeah.
15 years down the road,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like very shrunken and missing all of his teeth and
Mhm.
obviously
Yeah, I don't
has
know.
heartburn and indigestion and an upset stomach,
And diarrhea.
diarrhea.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, it's just it's one of those timelines that like just jumps all over the place, makes no sense. It's almost like new directors came on and didn't
Mhm.
pay attention to the movie that came out before it, or that's going to be like with the original one. Like they all did prequels, right? So they're not paying
Yeah.
attention to what's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how this kind of steps on another question that's going to pop up here later, but I kind of like how this franchise, their like weapon of choice that they like have throughout the movies, they choose like barbed wire.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a huge part in the franchise, except
Yeah.
for I think there's like a trivia, I think number 5 or something doesn't have barbed wire or something like that
Okay.
for one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's either always barbed wire or razor wire.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking nuts, man. The one kill in not six. I think it was maybe it was six with the two like mountain bikers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it goes through her eyes and like fucking
Yeah.
halfway into her skull. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
fucking nasty.
Yeah, there were some wild kills in this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean it does take away from them, in my opinion, as they go on, because some of the CGI is
Man.
like I think it's a number 2 whenever the like lesbian ex-military girl and
Yeah.
like the kind of like fucking disgusting pervert guy like hanging up, and
Yeah.
then they get shot with the arrow, and like
Oh
the
yeah.
arrow goes through her eye, but like you can see her eyes closed, but the arrow is not even like, doesn't look like a real arrow.
Mm-hmm. I think it was in that one too. And one of the guys steps on a like a lever on the ground or something, and it
Mhm.
springs up this like rectangle contraption made of wood, but there's like wire in it,
Yeah,
and it splits them in three sections. And I can't even describe it, man. Like it looked like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the worst CGI I've ever seen.
yeah,
And
I
like
think
it's
that was number 3.
was it three?
Yeah,
Yeah, and like it wasn't even like they were trying. It was just like,
no.
let's just use Microsoft Paint and we'll throw some blood on this after we cut
Yeah,
them in half.
yeah, yeah.
It was terrible.
I mean, it looked cool after when he was like in the 3 slices,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like the guy three fingers comes up and starts like picking from him and eating them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
One thing I can say about these movies is for the most part, the three main antagonists, like they always looked good.
yeah,
There was
yeah,
there was one um last resort, it was six, where I didn't like the look of Three Finger.
yeah. He kept like, I couldn't tell if Three Finger was supposed to be a man or a woman. Like late as the franchise progresses.
He's a guy.
No, I know, but like
Okay.
just the way his face looks and like his
Yeah.
hair, just kind of looks like an old lady.
Like a witch, like an old witch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
get that.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, so I mean, first wrong turn, I think we both like it. Um, there isn't like the first one, they don't really like eat people that much. Like you kind of you see like hinting of it towards it, like when the group goes into their house
Hmm.
and they see like all the stuff in the fridge and stuff like that. And then they're like cutting up the one friend's body, and I really liked like the intensity of that scene, especially whenever
Hmm.
they finally sneak out and the main one guy like has to hold the fucking spring
Oh yeah.
and then turns around and then one eye is like has his fucking eye open or whatever.
Looking at him,
Yeah,
that was scary.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that whole like scene inside the house was very like reminiscent of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think that's what the guy was going for, if I
mhm,
remember reading the trivia. I think
yeah.
like Texas Chainsaw and The Hills Have Eyes,
Oh
obviously.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very obvious that those were his inspirations for this movie.
Hmm. Um, but yeah, there's a few good kills from that one. I like the when they're in the tree and the one girl gets the axe to like the face and then like on her mouth and her like bottom half falls.
Hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, what were the other kills in that one? A lot of the kills in that one, they were like that one was awesome. But
Yeah.
then like the other ones were just like, did they not just like stab them or beat the fuck out of them?
They were kind of off screen,
Yeah.
I think.
We just saw like the aftermath.
Yeah. I think the redheaded girl got picked up by the barbed wire, I think,
Hmm.
like strangled from behind.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh the tall guy, he gets shot with an arrow.
Hmm. A
Like not
couple
much.
arrows,
A
yeah.
couple arrows, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so this one was like pretty tame
Hmm.
for the deaths, except for Carly's death, where she gets her head cut off with the fucking axe.
Yeah.
But then, like as the movies move on, like they progressively get more and more creative with these kills.
Yeah.
Like some of
Yeah.
them were awesome, I think.
They were, yeah. Yeah. At one point, I forget which movie it was. It might have been three, three and not four, three and like five, I think. It didn't really seem that they were killing them and like eating them. It just kind of seemed like they were just out to kill people and then like would either just
Mhm.
like leave their body behind or like not even like eat them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because three was three finger,
Yeah, it was only three finger
only three finger. Yeah.
because the other person gets killed at the beginning by the prisoners.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other two, they die in the first wrong turn, like the original movie. It's only
Yeah.
three finger left at the end of that one. And then in Dead End, Wrong Turn 2, it's like that family.
Yeah. It's not even the same people.
No, three fingers there, but it's like it's
Mm.
this whole like inbred family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that movie had some fucking ridiculous scenes in it too. Like the
Yeah.
fucking inbred sex in the fucking forest and the guy
Dude,
jerking off to the girl on the
like
beach. Like,
yeah, like Wrong Turn 2, like some of the kills were cool. I liked the family. It was like different, but just what really turned me off is like the way it was filmed, like this whole
mm,
reality show thing with like the
yeah.
shaky cam and that whole stuff. And like it was just basically like a porno. Like like whenever the girl brings Texas down to the water and like
Yeah.
wants to have sex with them, and then he like gets pissed and like, oh, I'm here for the money, and then leaves, and then she like blows the camera guy off or whatever,
Hmm.
and then
She
she's
wants to be
like
on TV.
and then she's like laying there, and then the guy up in the trees is like jerking off, and it has like all the sounds and like I don't know, man,
He
just like
spits in his hand and keeps
yeah,
going.
it's just too much for me. And then like he's banging his sister, like just I don't know, man.
Yeah. It was actually six that had the most nudity in it.
Yeah,
Because in six, every female character we see naked in that movie, which was surprising. And like with each movie, the sex scene begins closer and closer to the beginning of the movie.
mm,
I found
yeah,
like by the end of it, like it was fucking the opening scene. We have a sex scene,
yeah, yeah,
whereas the other ones we had to wait for a little bit. But I mean, it was the formula right back
yeah,
then
yeah,
for horror movies, for slasher movies.
hmm,
Like you need to
yeah,
have nudity in it.
yeah. Number two was number two the no, I wasn't. Number three was the kayakers. Whenever they get there, and then like she's about to bang the guy, and she's like, "Do you think what or why do you like me?" And he's like, "Oh, your tits" or something
Oh
like that. And
yeah.
then she gets the fucking arrow through the tit.
Yeah.
So good,
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, I think that was three.
Yeah. But yeah, number two, like I don't know what do you think of two? Like any kills that you liked from that one, and like what do you overall think of that?
It's hard to remember specific kills from each movie whenever you watch
Mm-hmm.
fucking seven of them in 5 days or three days for you. Um, one sec here.
I don't think there was anything like outrageous. Like pretty much the most outrageous one was they have like the meat grinder or something at like a mill,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and yeah, it's like what the hell?
Yeah, a lot of these were like just axe kills.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or yeah, arrow shot to the chest, throat slit, shot in the back.
Yeah, the one girl that gets the axe to the head when they're running away, and
Yeah, that one
then
was cool actually.
like he brings her back, and then Henry Rollins is like tied up, and he like gets away, and he's like, "Hey, whatever her name is, Sasha or whatever," and it's like,
Mhm.
dude, clearly she's dead, man.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of these ones were pretty tame too, really.
Mm-hmm.
Hung upside down from a tree, shot in the back of the head. Yeah, nothing overly crazy in that one. I
Mm-hmm.
guess like if it would have looked better, the one that you mentioned earlier where they're hanging upside down and the arrow shoots through both of them, like
Yeah,
that could have been really cool,
yeah.
but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
given the shitty CGI, it kind of took away from it.
And then like whenever they're oh, actually the opening kill in this movie is really good too, actually.
Oh, the girl in
It
the
doesn't like look that great, but uh yeah, she's driving there, and then that's another thing I didn't really like with this movie is like you couldn't kill these hillbillies except like
Mhm.
through the fucking meat grinder. Because like they say whenever he meets up, Henry Rollins meets up with the old guy, and he's like telling him about him, and then like they have like super strength and stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
from the beginning, she hits him with a car,
Yeah.
and then he just like gets up and like just fucking puts his broken bones back, like
Yeah.
nothing happens, and then like at the end, like I think Henry Rollins like breaks the dad's neck, and then he just like puts his neck
Snaps it
back,
back.
and it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I didn't like either one of those instances.
Mhm.
Especially the first one where the guy the like 'cause he's like the teenager one
Yeah,
and he gets hit by the car and like his body's fucking mangled, man. Like his legs are broken, his arms are broken, his fucking head's
yeah,
all twisted around. Like
yeah,
it was kind of stupid. But that chick's kill was good.
yeah. I guess her fucking neck ripped out, and then the dad just comes up and like splits her in half with the axe.
Yeah. No, he bites her lip off.
Oh yeah, he bites
She
her. Yeah, that's right.
she's
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
over top of him and he bites like her upper lip off and it's just like her
Yes.
exposed teeth on the top of her mouth.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was
Yeah, that was
nasty.
gross. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
good though. And then you see them walking down the road, dragging her two halves of her body down the road with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking sick. Yeah. Um, yeah, number three is kind of like where it starts, I don't know, not going off the rails. I don't know. You can tell the CGI is starting to get really bad.
Mm.
So basically in this one, there's prisoners, and they always have to get prisoners involved, you know. Basically they're like they're transferring these prisoners, and then one of the prisoners is like an undercover like FBI agent,
Yeah.
and so they move him early, and then like Three Fingers like crashes the bus and is pretty much terrorizing these prisoners. They're all like chained together.
Mhm.
Um, and like it wasn't the best movie, but I had fun with it. I thought there were some really cool kills in it. The one scene near the end, I was dying fucking laughing with how bad the CGI was, and you can tell it was like green screen. Whenever the main dude and one of the girls is like getting away in the tow truck, and then Three Fingers is like on the back of it.
Oh yeah.
The CGI was so bad during that, but
Yeah.
oh man, it was hilarious.
And then
Yeah,
yeah, this is the movie that they finally kill Three Finger. So he's the last one to go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And do you think that's why the next director decided to go with a prequel? Well,
Probably. Yeah,
Declan, what was his name? Declan O'Brien.
yeah, yeah.
Because he directed all three of the prequels. No, no.
Two. He did two of
Yeah, he
them.
did two of them. Because yeah, he did
Yeah.
three and then four and five. Yeah, yeah.
Did you do three?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Three, four, and five. Yeah.
I love the kill in this one where the scythe swings down from the tree and cuts the front of the guy's face off.
Yeah. Yeah. Again,
That
like the
was wicked.
CGI was
It was
not
bad,
great.
but
And then like the one prisoner is like a Mexican guy and like a skinhead guy.
mhm.
And I love they're like, well, what are we gonna do? They have like his bags of money. It's like a part of the story.
Yeah.
And he just like takes a knife and just like one chop, cuts his leg off or like sawing through it like nothing.
Mhm.
I was like, clearly that's a fake leg. And then he says like, oh, you got to cut through the kneecap. There's no bone there. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, at least you're explaining as to how easy it was to cut
Oh,
through his
it,
leg.
it was stupid easy, man. It was like he was cutting through a
Yeah.
fucking porterhouse.
And then like the one guy's like, okay, your turn. He's like, oh, I can't do it. And the Skinner's just like, oh, you fucking pussy.
I
Because
feel
like
like
in this, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say like they just added so many storylines to this movie,
Mhm.
like with the whole the prison transfer, the undercover FBI, and then there's like the skinhead and the Mexican prisoner who are working together, but they also hate each other.
Yeah.
Just like I don't know, there's too much going on in this one.
Yeah. And then they throw in, there's like one prisoner who's like not a bad guy, right? He just kind of hangs back and stuff like that. Then like at the end, uh I think the guy that survives, he ends up finding like the prison bus or something with
Mhm.
all the money.
Yeah,
And then the like good prisoner comes up and like kills him from behind, and then
yeah.
like
Never
he's supposed to
trust an
be,
inmate.
yeah, yeah. And then like is he a part of like the cannibals or like what? I don't know.
We'll never know, man,
But
because they
yeah,
changed the storyline
it's true. Yeah.
after this movie.
Yeah.
But
Um
yeah,
yeah. Anything else from that one that you wanted to bring up?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I was
All
going to
right.
talk about my thoughts on it, but I'm going to wait until because we're going to rank the franchise, like the movies in the franchise. So I don't want to
Yeah. Yeah.
get too far
Okay.
ahead.
Number four. Um, I believe this is the one where you texted me saying that you're super pissed off about one kill,
Yeah. What did I say?
but
I
then
was
like your rating totally like uh what's the word? Like
contradicted it.
contradicted what you said. I was very confused as to your rating on it, but
What did I say about it?
you're like, oh,
Mm.
this fucking kill just happened. Like,
No,
what
I
a
said they
fucking
made the.
idiot.
I said they made the dumbest decision.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what was the decision that they made?
I think I know what it was. Okay, so basically this movie, they're a bunch of um band members from like 2000 early 2000s like emo band. That's what they reminded me of.
Yeah.
They had the fucking haircut, skinny jeans, like it was hilarious. They're like on a snowmobile trip. They find this like sanatorium. They get trapped there. And honestly, this movie, like some of the decisions through the whole movie were like these people were so fucking dumb. I couldn't believe it. Like, oh my god. I think what you're talking about is like near the end. it's down to I think 4 girls maybe,
Hmm.
and they get into a room, they barricade it, and then like they pull a window apart and they start digging through the snow. And between like the snow and the outside, there's probably like 4 feet maybe,
Hmm.
and each girl has to go in one at a time. Like
Yeah.
one girl goes in, has to exit the hole and be like, okay, I'm out. Next one go. And it's like, just go after one another, because the girl at the end, she doesn't make it because
They take too
they
long.
they take too long. It's like, why do you have to wait for them to get through the whole fucking tunnel for you to go?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the reason why you texted me that, but I was seriously pissed at that scene.
It wasn't that, but I was thinking that as well. It was more towards like halfway through the movie.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, I should have wrote it down because I can't remember it now.
But yeah, like some of the kills were kind of cool. Like they were just all so dumb, man. Like the people in this, they find like the gymnasium with like the film projector, and like one guy knows how to work this
Yeah.
apparently. But they're watching it, and then a girl gets pulled up with barbed wire,
Hmm.
and everyone just standing there screaming, looking at it. And then one of the boyfriend, he goes under her, is pulling her legs while barbed wire is around her neck, and he's yelling her name like, "Come on, come on!" It's like, dude, you're making it worse. And then her head falls off, and he's laying there on the ground screaming. Just, oh my god.
I'm reading through the plot synopsis now to see if I can figure out what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talked about my rating on it. I've rated this a little bit higher than I definitely should have,
Mhm.
solely based on just like how much I laughed at it. Like
Mm.
it's a very poorly made movie. Some of the kills were cool, which I did
Yeah.
like. And I kind of liked the whole backstory of the three cannibals.
I think this was my favorite opening.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another thing too. Like this opening is fucking insane, dude.
It's
Like step
crazy.
aside ghost ship. Like this
Yeah.
fucking opening scene was nuts.
Like they're just fucking with these people because
Yeah.
of all the shit that they did to these kids. Like the one scene where they have the guy tethered on all of his appendages with the barbed wire, and just, I don't know where they got this machinery from, but I mean, irrelevant, but they're fucking winding it and pulling apart his limbs with barbed wire. It's fucking
Mhm.
brutal.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
was it whenever Buddy fell asleep?
Oh yeah, that was fucking dumb as shit.
It might have been that because like they get them locked up in the cell and then he's supposed to sit there and
Yeah.
watch them and then he falls asleep.
So yeah, they get them locked up, and yeah, it's like you have them all locked up in this cage. You're about to burn them alive, and then
Mm,
all of a
that's what it
sudden,
was. That's what it was. How the fucking chick convinced him to not burn them alive.
and then everyone else voted with her to keep them alive.
Yeah.
It's like, why? What's They just brutally murdered your friends,
Yeah.
and now you have a conscience to keep them alive.
And you know that they're going to kill you.
Yes,
And you know that they're cannibals at this point.
they literally. I really like this scene too. Maybe I rated this movie too low, but too late now. Um, they capture one of the boyfriends, the
Mhm.
short blonde one,
Mhm.
and they have him tied up, and they are having fucking fondue out of his skin, and it's
Mhm.
so fucking gross.
Yeah.
But they're having a blast, man, doing
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. It's a fucking
Um.
great meal.
So yeah, there's the one guy and like 4 girls left, and they're about to kill people. But then they decide not to, and he's like, "Okay, I'll take the first shift." And then like literally, he falls asleep, and they get out and they kill him. well, they don't kill him. They like hurt him, tie him up, put a bag over his head, and then they get the girls to kill him
Mhm.
because they think he's one of the people. But another dumb thing, why would one of the fucking cannibals be over there with a bag over his head with his
Mhm.
hands tied behind his back?
Yeah.
But they stabbed the shit out of him
Yeah.
and then decide to turn him over and take the bag off. And
Yeah.
then they realize that they killed their own friend.
Like, did they not have the fire poker at that point? Just
Yeah.
hit him over the head, knock him out.
Yeah. And then apparently the cannibals know how to disable snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And then one girl gets skis and decides to cross country ski
Oh my god,
to
dude.
nowhere.
I think I might have rated this too high. Oh my god. Oh man, that scene of her cross country skiing, I'm like, you are going so slow. Like you
Yeah.
are never gonna get there in time. I'm the
Yeah.
best skier out of all of us. Let
Yeah.
me
Look,
go
I got
like
the gear.
oh my god, man, it was so bad.
Yeah. And like I think they also like played too much into what people want with like lesbian sex.
Yeah, actually.
Like two beautiful women, one gorgeous black girl, gorgeous
Asian.
Asian
Yeah.
Asian white girl, and like they're constantly having sex,
Hmm.
and it's like, okay,
That was another thing too. Like there's two couples, like the lesbian couple that you mentioned, and then one of the other couples, and they're just like these sex fiends, man. Like they
yeah,
share an apartment. I think it's an apartment or like a
oh
dorm room or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that at the beginning of the movie. And like the heterosexual couple is having sex on one
mhm,
bed, and then like right beside them, the lesbian couple's having sex on the other bed. And then one of the
mhm.
girls comes in, like one of their friends comes into the apartment, and she's like, "Oh my god, you guys are disgusting." And then she just
Yes,
stands there and talks to them while everybody's just butt ass naked. They just
yeah,
finished
yeah,
fucking.
uh,
It's like, I don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
There was some stupid scenes in this
yeah.
movie. Mm.
Um, the one kill that like pissed me off too. So they all get away at the end, kind of, and then one girl has a fire poker and then she loses it and decides that she absolutely needs this fire poker.
Good weapon.
It's a good weapon. She goes back. She can't find it, obviously. Then her one friend gets run over by a snowmobile, and the snowmobile is on top of her chest,
Oh man.
and he is revving it. Like, has to be like a minute and a half of her still alive somehow and just going nuts, like blood spraying, and she's like alive the whole time. It's like, I think
Mhm.
you would be dead in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, she definitely would be, but that was a cool kill
It
regardless. Like
was,
it was
yeah,
prolonged, like it was
yeah,
way too long, but I thought it
mhm,
was a very
yeah,
cool kill.
yeah. Um, and then I think one of the girls freezes to death, right?
Yeah, the fucking skier.
The skier, and then
Oh, I laughed so hard at that one scene. She's got like this little fire made and
oh
she's like
yeah,
warming her hands up and she's like so happy because she like finally has fire. And then snow falls off a tree and lands right on top
yeah,
of it.
yeah. Oh man. And then like the ending, you think that one girl is dead and she's like out in the open, and then all of a sudden the snowmobile comes and the girl pops out of nowhere and smacks them with like the fire poker.
Mhm.
And then they get away in the snowmobile, and then I guess they inadvertently run into a barbed wire fence and cuts both their heads off.
Oh yeah.
And then the tow truck comes up and just grabs their heads and walks away. And I was like, dude, you have a full body there. What are you doing?
They
That's
just
good. That's good lunch,
it's
man.
good meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little rump roast.
Um, but yeah, this is probably the movie I was most invested in, but I also was screaming at the whole time because there were some dumbass decisions.
Yeah.
All right, number five, Bloodlines. This one I feel was like the furthest away from what the other movies are.
Hmm. Yeah.
Did you feel that too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
This one feels like it could have been a standalone.
yeah, yeah. Like just the production, like just like looking at it was like this was clearly made on like a set.
Hmm.
Like,
Oh yeah, big
yeah,
time.
yeah. Um, yeah, like the acting in this one is not good. We have who, Doug Bradley, is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the only
He's
good thing about this one.
yeah, he definitely just went all out, like didn't give a fuck about
Hmm.
this movie at all. Like he was hilarious in it. I just didn't understand where they were at, and like they're at like some Mountain Man festival.
Hmm.
Like I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention, but where did everyone go in this town?
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
Because by the end
Just
of the movie, it's
it's
just
a ghost town.
it's a ghost town.
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering that too. I was like, did I miss like 20 minutes of this movie where like everybody just dies or something? Like
Yeah, yeah, ridiculous. Um,
this one had a brutal kill in it though. They
which one
have
was
Buddy
that?
like hanging off the back of the truck and they have his legs like pulled tight so they're straight out. And all three of them are beating on his legs with
Oh
sledgehammers.
yeah, yeah, that was brutal. Yeah, yeah,
Fuck. It was, yeah.
yeah,
It was borderline tough to watch.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the whole story was because like Doug Bradley's character, he like lures the kids or he like just pops up in the road, gets hit by a car, or not hit by a car, but like they think that he hit him, and then he just pulls
Mhm.
a knife out, stabs one of the kids. The cops come, arrest everybody, and then Doug Bradley's like in jail the whole time. Like at the end of the movie, um, he ends up getting out and like I don't know, fucking burning one girl's eyes or something like that. Like what is
Mhm.
he? Yeah,
Yeah, he took her eyes out.
yeah,
She was the one like at the end of the movie that gets picked up by the tow truck too.
yeah, yeah,
I kind of like that end scene because like she's walking down the road and she's blind and she's just like
yeah,
feeling her way around and she hears a vehicle and she's like, "Stop, save me!"
yeah,
And
yeah.
then Three Finger gets out, like
Like takes her hand.
very generously, like walks her to the car,
Yeah,
and then Doug Bradley's in the passenger seat. He goes, "Hello, Lita," and she starts fucking screaming.
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
couple cool kills in this one, like with the snowblowers too.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
two guys getting run over by the snowblowers.
yeah, yeah. Oh, in the fucking soccer field.
Yeah,
So dumb. There was no opening kill in this movie either.
that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, this was probably the most like forgettable movie
Oh, yeah.
out of all of them.
It was bad. It
Yeah,
was very bad.
yeah. Um, yeah, like you said, Doug Bradley was the best thing in this
Mhm.
movie. Um, yeah. I mean, anything else from this movie that
No, fuck
no,
this
okay.
movie.
Yeah. And finally is Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort. Um, kind of like all of these movies are direct to video and it's very obvious. Like in this one, nobody. Opening scene, there's like two bikers that find like hot springs near this hotel.
Oh,
Uh,
we found this whenever I was a kid
I don't
when
know
we used to
how this
camp out
guy got
here.
this girl,
Dude, right?
but true man.
Wow. She was a
Oh,
fucking 12 out of 10 and he was a solid 2.
yeah,
Like, wow.
yeah. Um, yeah, so he gets like shot with an arrow, couple arrows, I think.
Mhm.
And then she bikes away, and then, like you said at the beginning, she gets like captured with barbed wire between trees, and then she has like her eyes like are topped with a barbed wire, and they're just like pulling up on it. Like it's fucking
Mhm.
brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was gross.
yeah.
And like
Uh,
as bad as the CGI is in some of these movies, like whenever they don't use CGI,
mhm.
these kills look very good. Like the practical effects in all of these movies is very
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
I don't know why in some of them they chose to do this fucking god awful CGI, man, when they
yeah.
have the capabilities of making good
Hmm.
practical effect kills
Yeah.
and gore.
Because like the practical effects for the actual cannibals, like our three main, like they look
Mm-hmm.
good,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie, our main character finds out that he's inheriting this hotel that is like still being run, and like it seemed like it was for like old people.
Yeah.
And he brings all his friends. The like caretaker is it was a Jackson and Sally. You learn that they're like actually brother and sister, and then like they have to pretend they're not until they can convince the guy to stay here, I guess, and they aren't expecting him to bring friends.
Yeah.
It's pretty much throughout the movie, like the three cannibals are told to stay away until like the wish is fulfilled, basically, but they
Mm-hmm.
still do kill a couple of people. The old lady gets killed by like an axe gets thrown. Um, they kill a cop, and I did like this scene whenever Jackson was teaching the main guy how to hunt.
Uh-huh.
And then meanwhile, like in the other scene, Three Fingers was like hunting the cop,
Yeah.
and he's like explaining like everything about hunting and stuff like that. Like you gotta bring your let your prey come to you and stuff like that. And then like
Mm.
exactly what's happening with the deer is happening with the cop.
Yeah. I felt bad for that cop too, because he seemed like he was a nice guy.
You did, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when they were talking to him in town, because like in a lot of these movies, like whenever the city folk come to the backwoods,
Yeah.
the the hillbillies are always like assholes to them,
Mhm.
and vice versa. But like this sheriff was like he was just genuinely concerned for this old lady who was missing, and he was like, "Yeah, if you guys see anything, like let me
Mhm.
know." And they
Yeah.
were like, "Yeah, we're staying at whatever the fucking hotel's called." And he's like, "Oh, you better be careful up there. What are you doing over there?" Or something like that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Just seemed like a nice
Apparently,
guy.
Zac Efron's picture was in this movie.
I saw that, and I don't know if it was the same for you, but that scene when they're in the town were all the pictures blurred except for like one picture.
I wasn't paying attention. Like I just saw the wanted ad for like the old lady, but I didn't see any of the other pictures.
Oh man, because there's like this big board. It was like a bulletin board of like how you
Yeah.
would see like at a post office or something like
Hmm.
that. And every picture except for like one was like completely blurred out. And I read on IMDb something about how someone sued the production company
Oh, maybe that's why then.
because a picture was on there. And I was like, because like when I was watching it, I was like, why are all these fucking pictures blurred out? Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, because so there was a real actual person.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like I was thinking, like, I was like, is this their shitty way of making you focus on the one
Hmm.
pamphlet that's on the bulletin board, or like what's going
Yeah,
on? But I think
yeah,
that might be the reason why.
yeah. So number six, yeah. I mean, a few good kills in this one. Some like weird storylines. Like there's some like random fucking sex dungeon where they like is there on a monument where they have sex to make babies.
Yeah.
Um, very weird. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
then like the main guy gets like captured and brought to all the other hillbillies and like has to drink blood and gets like drugged kind of and like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know hypnotized, and then like Sally has to have sex with him and like make a baby with him, and like just that one night makes him like turn into one of them.
Yeah, it was weird. That whole turn happened way too quick.
Hmm.
And like they wanted well, because like they were saying like you have to keep it in the family, you have to keep the bloodline pure and all this shit.
Hmm.
But they wanted him because he's an ex like Wall Street guy, like so he's very smart. And they're saying like we your brain and our blood basically.
Yeah.
So they make him have sex with Sally.
Yeah. I think they should have called this one Bloodlines.
Uh, yeah. Too late for that though.
Because even his friend shows up and then he just lets them kill him and doesn't even give a shit.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one has some fucking wild ass kills in it though. Holy
Dude,
shit. I read your review on it. I was fucking dying.
I this isn't in my favorite kill of the franchise, so I could talk about it now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, so they have one of the friends, all three of the hillbillies in this room. They have them strapped down. I was like, okay, what are they gonna do? They grab a fire hose, put it on. I was like, okay, like
They start to like
where are they?
waterboard him with a fire
Yeah, I was
hose.
like, where are they going with this? They like, yeah, they put it in his mouth. Like, are they gonna drown him? Like, it's not very fucking intense. And then they flip him over. I was like, oh my god. They pull it out of his pants, and I was like, they're not doing this. They fucking shove the hose up his ass. You see his ass getting bigger, and then it explodes. And I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Shit.
Amazing kill.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Did not expect that on wrong turn 6 to have this kill.
Yeah.
Save this movie for me, honestly.
I mean, at the same time, like, what better movie to do it? Like,
That's
franchise
true.
is almost
Yeah.
over. Just fucking
Yeah.
get wild with it.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people say that a lot of these movies kind of turn into like comedies. Like, did you
Eh,
get that sense at all? Like they're
you
horror
know,
comedies?
in a way, kind of, but not like.
Yeah, I just felt like they are so bad they're funny, but I don't
I
think they
think.
were intentionally being like a horror comedy.
I think that's kind of where I'm sitting with it too.
Yeah.
Like this movie felt very serious, but then they fucking pull
Mhm.
off a kill like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the ending whenever he gets his hotel and it's like a hotel for fat people.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, how's your all protein diet going?" And then like it's like some massive girl,
I've
and
lost 7 pounds.
I forget what the line he says in it. Fuck, there's a couple like stupid lines. I don't know if it has it in it. Let me see if I can find it. Anything else from this movie that?
Um, I kind of like how they ended it with I can't remember what his name is. With the main character like staying there, marrying Sally.
Mhm.
She's not pregnant. They're trying to get her pregnant in order to continue it. Like it's like a happy ending, but also like a grotesquely happy ending. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because she
How
gets it.
does? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say she gets into a fight with the main guy's girlfriend.
Yeah, I was
Like
gonna say that. Yeah,
her face gets all burned, her fucking leg gets chopped off at the
because
knee.
Sally was like, uh, let's see what firewater does to that pretty face or something
Yeah.
like that. And then she like turns around and smashes Sally's face into it.
Mhm.
And then Sally's leg gets shot off by a shotgun. And then how does his girlfriend die? I forget.
She got shot in the back of the head. How did she stabbed in the back of the head?
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
And then another scene that cracked me up is like once he gets like the hotel or whatever, and then you see like all the hillbillies go to like the closet with their like robes,
Hmm.
and he wheels Sally in. She has like a burnt face, a missing leg, and then he
Yeah.
like props her up on the thing, grabs her like half leg, and puts it on like the leg rest. I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
And then
Uh,
attempts to impregnate her.
and she's like smiling. He's like, it'll happen one day. Like, why are you so happy? And she's like, oh, I love you so much. I was like,
Hmm.
oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah.
We forgot to mention the little deformed baby that happens in part two.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's trying to feed it with the bottle
Hmm.
of
And it's
like
like fucking
the
sludge water.
yeah, and then like the baby won't eat it, so he like grabs a finger, just like puts it in the
Yeah.
baby's mouth. God, yeah.
Reboot time.
Oh yeah, we got that one to talk about still too.
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ. Yeah, reboot. Surprisingly, a lot of people hate this movie.
I don't get it, dude. Like I was on Letterbox and I was like,
Me either.
whoa,
But
whoa.
I think I get it because it is such a different movie from the franchise.
But why is that bad?
I think it's just a lot of diehard fans just love the cannibal aspect of it. And like
Come on, who's a diehard fan of this franchise?
a lot of people, man, like you'd be surprised, man. I mean, I would like to see like a remake in today's age.
Of like the actual cannibalism and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I like this movie. I like where they went with it.
Hmm.
Was not what I expected.
Yeah.
The kills
Well,
in it, they're far and few between, but they're brutal, man. They
mhm.
really remind me of like Midsommar, like A24
Yeah.
movie kind of.
Yeah, that's true. Josh is gonna hate you for comparing it to Midsommar, but
He can eat a dick.
I agree. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, like I feel like this was a very refreshing movie in the franchise that has overstayed its welcome.
Yeah.
Um, and like I would love to see more of this movie in this franchise, but I mean, we're obviously not going to see that, but
Yeah, they
like
could,
they could, I guess, but
maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. I liked
But
it because it's
yeah,
like it's all a cult. Like they're not cannibals. They're just like fucked up. Like they hold people prisoners and shit. But
well, not even. They're not even bad.
well, I mean,
People go there on their own terms.
I get their mindset.
They were literally carrying what's his face? I just watched the movie. I forget his name.
Mhm.
When they have him strapped up and then he kills them, kills the one guy. Like they're in the
Brutal
trial,
kill.
huh?
Brutal kill
That
too.
was a brutal kill, yeah. But during the trial, like the guy's like, he fucking killed my brother. We were literally taking him down to the mountain and let him go to where he could get into town.
Yeah, but they had all those people locked up in like the little dungeon tunnel thing. Like
In the darkness.
whenever they're escaping at the end, they had all those people.
Yeah, but those people went through trial. So obviously they did something bad, right? To get there.
But they bring up the topic a bunch of times in the movie, like all the townsfolk that live like at the bottom of this mountain. Like if you trespass on their mountain, they're gonna do that. Like they're gonna kidnap you and kill you or hold you hostage. And they always say, like all the townsfolk were saying, like if you go on that mountain, you're not coming off of it. So like it could just be a hiker minding his own fucking business. Like, oh shit, this is a nice hill. I'm gonna climb this. And then all of a sudden they get fucking kidnapped.
Yeah, but then why did they say that they were going to carry him down to the mountain?
People lie, Brooke. I don't know. They're trying to make themselves look better in trial.
I don't know.
I don't think I agree partially with what you're saying. I feel like they want to just live on this mountain, do their own thing. They're not bothering the townsfolk.
No, she's down there fucking trying to sell bracelets.
Yeah. But like the way they go about their whole trial system is a little bit,
You're
I
gonna
don't know,
say it's barbaric.
suspect,
You're gonna say it's
barbaric. Yeah.
no, because that's what our society is.
I'm not
Venable
saying it's
even
right.
Venable even says that whenever he's about to fucking kill the guy with like the same way that he killed the brother.
I'm not saying we're any better.
Oh, you're making it sound like that.
Everybody's a piece of shit in their own way,
It's true.
except for us.
Yeah.
We're Canadians, so we get a buy.
Um,
I
yeah,
don't
not
know.
many kills in this movie. The special effects are fantastic.
Can I stop you there?
What?
You keep saying that there's not many kills in this movie.
I know there's 11 kills, but
Mhm. This movie has the most kills out of any of the movies.
11, really?
No, there's
Yeah,
18.
no, there isn't.
Yeah, there is.
You can't count the fucking imaginary 4 kills at the end.
Well, I mean, they get killed. Oh, does this have that? Hmm.
Because
No,
in
no, it doesn't.
IMDb, because in IMDb trivia, I'm pretty sure I read.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
have I have Trent who gets stabbed in the back with a gardening claw. The Cougar Skull guy gets decapitated with a knife. Paula Halt gets axed in the face. Gary gets crushed by the log, which was fucking brutal too.
that was brutal. Yeah.
Samuel gets his head smashed in with the branch. Mila gets impaled on spikes. Adam gets his head bashed in with the branch. Ed gets crushed by the spike trap. Cooper gets crushed by the spike trap. Morgan gets shot with a gun. Luis gets his eyes burned out with a fire poker, and then what's her face shoots him. Hobbs gets stabbed in the torso. Edith gets her head blown off. The boar skull guy gets shot with arrows. Reggie gets a knife thrown into his head. Wolf Skull gets an axe thrown to the back. Corain gets stabbed with a knife, and then Venable gets stabbed with a knife.
Well, then IMDb is incorrect.
It's fucking right they are. I got my information from the Wrong Turn wiki page.
You can't trust Wikipedia.
It's not on Wikipedia.
It's the
It's
same
it's it's,
shit.
it's its own page.
But so do you think they triggered that log? Or do you think it was pushed?
I don't know. What do you think? You seem to think that they're a nice fucking group of people.
Yeah.
Because I could see them pushing it.
I take a lot of people to fucking push that thing.
Logs just don't fall though. Like
I mean,
that's
on
a
the Appalachian Trail, anything happened.
but that's a log. Like that's not a tree. Like that thing's like trimmed up. It's fucking cut nicely on either side. Like it's not just a
Yeah.
fallen tree.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, that kill was fucking brutal.
Oh man, his face
The
gets all crushed.
aftermath. Oh, I see his fucking teeth and
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, it was fucking brutal.
gross. I really like the scene whenever they were like at the bar and Luis and Gary like holding hands, and then like one of them stops holding hands because like they're in
Mm.
this fucking hick town. And then actually that was the other guy that I meant to mention
Mhm.
that looked familiar. The like redneck guy.
Yeah. With the yellow eyes.
Yeah, Tim DeZarn. He was in Cabin in the Woods. He played Harbinger of Death.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was in
Fuck.
Fight Club, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Uh, yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I like that scene whenever he's like goes up to them and then uh he says like, "Oh, I bet you haven't worked a fucking day in your life, you fucking hipsters." And then he like turns away, and then the one girl, main girl, is like, "Actually, that's not true. Like, so and so develops apps. These two own their own bistros. Blah 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 is an oncologist." And then she like tells him like, "Oh no, see, you have yellow eyes. Like, hey, what's that mean?" And she's like, "Oh, might do with your liver is failing you."
Mhm.
And then look at the very end, like it turns around, like he is like beating the fuck out of her dad, Matthew Modine.
Mhm.
And then he like comes back to try and like save them, and he's like, "No, you were right. My liver is failing me now. I am gonna like get help and stuff like that."
Mhm. I really like that like plot twist, really like how they come
Mhm.
back to save them.
Yeah,
Thought it
yeah,
was really good. Because like you think that they're kind of part of this cult or like they're helping the cult throughout the whole
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And we find out like they beat the shit out of him so he would turn around and leave. And then
Mhm.
like he actually has a brain in his head and he fucking listened to the doctor girl who said, like, yeah, you could be dying.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Uh,
what did you think of the ending of this movie? Like when she gets back to her house and like John's there and all this stuff.
I liked it.
Hmm.
I don't know if I liked the dream sequence.
Hmm.
Like I thought those, I don't know,
Overdone.
overdone, wasn't needed.
Hmm.
But I really liked it because like basically, all of the her friends basically eventually get killed except for her and her boyfriend.
Hmm.
They're about to get their eyes burned and put into darkness, which is a fucking brutal. Like I would rather be killed than to do that, deal with that.
Hmm. She wasn't going to get hers done,
Yeah, she was.
but she married John.
No, before that, they were about to do it, and then
Oh,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Hey, hold up! Like, you can use us." And then she convinces them that her boyfriend, he is like works for a non for profit.
Yeah, not for
Yeah.
profit.
Uh, that like builds houses, sustains houses and stuff. So like keep him, and then they're like, "Okay, what about you?" And she's like, "Well, me. Like, I can provide you with a baby."
Hmm.
So they keep them. And I forget where I was going with this. Um, yeah, so she offers them to basically become like a citizen of the foundation.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when her dad comes, she leaves, but her boyfriend stays, I think. Like he doesn't die, right?
No, he wants to stay because like he's like they finally see like I finally found people that see me and like have
Yeah,
a use for me and like so
yeah,
he really wanted to stay and use his skills
yeah,
there.
yeah. Um, so they basically leave, and then like at the end, it's basically Venable who comes into their society, right? And like kind of interrupts their daily routines and stuff like that because he still like owns her basically, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think like the after credit scene is like, or not after credit, but during credit
During
scene
credits.
is like one of the best endings I've seen in a movie
It was
in the
fucking
past few years.
it was sick.
Yeah, yeah. Basically,
Uh,
she gets captured and then the RV like crashes and then she comes out and like stabs a couple of people and her and Ruthie just like walking back down the street.
mhm.
Yeah.
Because yeah, whenever she was escaping with her dad, like she asked Ruthie, like, "Do you want to leave with me?" And Ruthie said no.
Yeah.
But I think Ruthie was like more afraid of like what
Mhm.
would happen if she did leave.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she showed a lot of affection towards um the main girl. I can't remember what her name is.
Mhm.
Um, throughout the movie, so like I feel like she wanted to go with her or like wanted to stay with her, but she was
Yeah.
just fearful of what would happen if she did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I remember like the first time I watched this, like the RV's driving down the road and then all of a sudden just starts swerving around and then crashes into a car. And I was just like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the fucking door of the RV just blasts open and a guy comes falling out. You can tell that he's
Yeah.
been stabbed, and then she comes out and just starts fucking stabbing him even more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah. Apparently I read in the IMDb trivia that there was a homage to or Easter egg to every other movie in the franchise.
Really?
But I from watching it without like knowing that, I didn't pick up on anything. I don't know if you did at all.
I didn't either. They didn't say what it was.
Not on IMDb, like I'm sure maybe on your fancy Wikipedia page it might say, but
Here, you sassy little bitch. Wrong turn 2020 Easter eggs. Wow. One of these articles, reborn wrong turn franchise should have stayed dead.
oh shit.
Jeepers. Yeah, I can't find it, but
Okay.
I don't want to waste too much time looking for it.
Yeah. Um so yeah, basically like the other death, Louise, when she's escaping, she finds all the people in the darkness, and then Louise is there, like with his fucking eyes burnt out, has like a
Mhm.
sandwich. He's just like sitting there. and
Yeah.
she does the right thing. She just fucking shoots him in the head, kills
Mhm.
him.
Yeah.
Because like, man, that'd be fucking awful, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like not only can you not see, you're like trapped in this tunnel with
Hmm.
all these other people that can't see.
Yeah.
And everybody's just kind of stumbling around and like all they feed you is like this half loaf of
Hmm.
bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
they're good people though.
Yeah. So who
I
do you
was
think
being
stole all their?
sarcastic, you fucking guy.
Now you got me thinking. Like,
Maybe
I
they're
don't
not
know.
good people.
It's like who's took their cell phones?
Yeah.
Obviously, someone did because they in the barn where they hide out and then see their friend getting carried. You see all of the cell phones there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Telling you, man.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
don't know.
said, I loosely agree with what you said. I feel like they want to just live their life on the mountain and not be disturbed.
Yeah,
But the way they go about dealing with the people that trespass on their land is a little questionable.
yeah.
I mean, like if
I don't
someone
know.
trespassed on my yard, I'm not going to burn their eyeballs, say with a fire poker and lock them in my basement.
Why not, man? It's your land. You can do what you want, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, anything else from this movie that you wanted to touch on?
No, man, I think we've talked about all these movies long enough.
All right,
Time to rank them.
let's do it.
Time to rank them. I mean, we can talk about our favorite and least favorite, but that's going to come up in the rankings anyways. So, do you want to
Okay,
just go through the rank list or?
sure. All
All
right.
right, go
Somebody
ahead.
go first, or
Sure. Yeah.
all right. This may or may not shock you. I don't know.
Mm.
My favorite was Ron Turn from 2021.
Okay.
And then, or no, I'm an idiot. What did I? Yeah, Ron Turn 2021. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Second favorite, Ron Turn
Mm.
original. Third favorite, Ron Turn 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Fourth, Ron Turn 6.
Okay. All right.
Let me see where we're at. Fifth. There's so many I'm losing count. Wrong turn 2.
Okay.
6, wrong turn 4. And last, wrong turn 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So my favorite is wrong turn 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then wrong turn 5, least favorite.
Cool. All right. Um, our least favorite and favorite are the same. So
Okay.
we're,
Okay.
but our journey there is a little
But
different.
I could see my first and second swapping out
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
any given day, honestly.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of what you're in the mood for.
Yeah.
So yeah, my first favorite is 2021. My second is the original Wrong Turn. My third is Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings.
Hmm.
My fourth is Wrong Turn 2, Dead End.
Okay.
My fifth is Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort.
Mm-hmm.
My sixth is Wrong Turn 3, Left for Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And my last is Wrong Turn 5, Bloodlines.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, some of ours are just like swapped.
Yeah.
I think like fifth and sixth are swapped, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. With that being said, though, like, well, actually, no, we're going to talk about that later on, so never mind. But
Okay.
our ratings differ vastly on these movies.
They do. Yes.
Yeah. Without going into too much detail.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. How does this franchise rank for you among other horror franchises?
I put terrible,
Okay.
but I haven't. I don't think I've watched enough franchises with this longevity.
Okay.
Like I've seen, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street,
Mhm.
the
Halloween.
Saw movies has this many. Um, I mean, Puppet Master is pretty comparable with this, not gonna lie. But like Hellraiser, I haven't seen all of them. Like
Mm,
there's quite a few franchises that have a lot of movies.
yeah.
So like within that realm, I can't really compare it, but like this franchise does get pretty bad. Like
Mm.
I now own these movies on Apple TV, so uh I don't know, I can see myself rewatching this franchise.
Mhm.
So I'll say below average.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
How
right.
about you?
For me, like the franchise as a whole, it doesn't rank very high.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, like they are fun movies. Like I know
Mhm.
you had to watch three of them in one night, and that probably became a very tedious task. But I feel
Yeah.
like you'd be like that with any franchise. Like,
Mhm.
but like if we had if we would have spaced them out longer, like if we gave ourselves more time to just kind of casually watch the franchise,
Yeah.
I feel like you could have a lot of fun with these movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like if we do the original as a standalone, like that movie is fucking awesome, man. Like
Mhm.
it's not high enough on people's horror movies lists, like slasher lists, I don't think. They did a
No.
great job like reintroducing this type of horror to the world.
Mhm.
And like Eliza Dushku is a fucking criminally underrated final girl. She
Yeah.
kicked so much ass in this movie, man. And like people
Yeah.
never have her on their list of final girls.
No. No.
Um, so like yeah, the franchise as a whole not ranked very high for me, but there's certain installments like the first one and the reboot. I feel like
Mhm.
they did really good jobs.
Yeah.
What about the killers? How do they rank among other slashers for you?
Killers, I would say actually fairly high
Mhm.
because throughout the franchise they have the same killers.
For the most
Um,
part, yeah.
it's mostly different actors. They do bring, I think, a couple of them back for Three Fingers.
Mhm.
Um, and actually most of these movies were filmed in Canada and I
Mhm.
think it's like Belarus or something random.
Yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of the actors are Canadian actors throughout all the movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh um Actually, I was gonna say something, but I'll just mention this in my ratings. I guess I gotta write it down so I remember it
Okay.
because I just remembered. But yeah, I think the villains or killers in this, they all have their own personalities and like way they kill people.
Mhm.
The laugh from Three Fingers in the first movie is so iconic
Mhm.
that even in like the second movie, when we don't even really have Three Fingers, his laugh is in the credits at the end.
Mhm. Yeah,
And he wasn't even in the movie, really,
very
right?
much. Yeah.
So, yeah. What would you?
For me, like One Eye and Sawtooth, like they're not huge for me. Like they're not high up on the list for me. But yeah, Three Finger is like he's fucking iconic. In all of the movies that he's in, he's my favorite killer out of
Mm-hmm.
whoever else is in there. And like Julian Richings, who did the original Three Finger, like you mentioned, like that laugh is so good, man. And even just like his mannerisms in that movie, like
Yeah.
Julian Richings, I wish he would have signed on for all six of these movies
Yeah.
because he was so good at playing that
He
character.
was. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Three Finger is like he's the ringleader. He's the smallest one, he's the youngest one, but he's definitely the ringleader. And he,
He's the most fucking crazy one.
oh man, he's nuts and he's fucking awesome. I love him so
Yeah.
much. So yeah, like I would rank him pretty high, but as for the other two, they're probably pretty low.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, altogether, they worked well as a team.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right. Are you ready to review these movies?
Let's do it.
Back starting to get sore sitting here for 2 hours now. All right. How'd you rate these?
So overall for story, I gave the franchise a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Um, they do seem to keep a consistent story throughout most of them, especially like the prequels. Like the last one's a different director, but they do kind of like keep the story going a little bit. Um, you don't get too much like backstory on the villains. You just see like where they came from, but you don't really like see why they're like this, why they decide to like fucking eat people. Like, I don't know. Um, a lot of the characters they don't carry over. Like, I read that Eliza Dushku was supposed to come back for a couple of the movies, but they never did. Like, a lot of the characters survive at the end,
Mm-hmm.
most of them, but then you don't see them in the next one at all. So, I mean, it is kind of disappointed a little bit, but yeah. Um, quality, I gave a 3 out of 10. Uh, apart from like the first movie is like really good, and the second and the last movie, obviously, the
Mm-hmm.
quality is really good. But the other movies in between, the CGI is so bad, the acting is really bad. A lot of these movies just are like fucking pornos, man. Like, I don't know, man. And like, especially in number three and maybe four, there's a couple. In three, they're all British actors.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple scenes where the actor, you can clearly tell, forgot that they're playing an American. Did you notice that
Yeah, oh
too?
yeah, I did.
You can hear their accent come out, especially when they're like yelling or screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the one guy, he's playing a Mexican, but he's British. And when he like slips, I was like, oh my God, like that's so funny. Uh, so yeah, quality 3 out of 10 and story 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Um, also I texted you, I think I forget which movie it was, number 6 or 5, but I swear they took the
Mm.
music from Hell's Kitchen, or like you get those like reality shows where it's like da 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 and
Yeah.
like the same music. I was like dying laughing. Yeah. So 4 to 10 and 3 out of 10.
Okay. All right. My story, I gave it a 5 out of 10. Um, I enjoyed the fact that we got like the prequels.
Mm,
But like I mentioned previously in the episode, like the timeline jumps all over the place. There's so many fucking plot holes between each movie and like the continuity issues and stuff like that. It's just like
yeah.
they lost their focus on where they were trying to go with the franchise, I think. And like
Hmm.
considering the fact that one guy directed like the three middle movies and he still managed to fuck up the continuity and
Yeah.
like where all these buildings come from and like where the family's coming from and like all this shit. It's just I
Hmm.
don't know. They didn't put a lot of thought into it. It just felt like they were kind of pumping the movies out.
Yeah.
But I did like getting like the prequels, regardless of all that.
Hmm.
I liked seeing them as kids and like seeing like kind of what their upbringing was a little bit. Like
Hmm.
we see them get arrested and put into the sanatorium right away, but we kind of get a little bit of their story while they're
Yeah.
there, just based off what the doctor's telling that woman who's coming in for art therapy.
Hmm.
But yeah, then like the reboot comes around and that gives it some points. Like the story in the
Yeah.
reboot is fucking wicked, man.
Yeah.
Like they really changed it around a lot and I don't
Yeah.
know, it worked.
Yeah. It's tough to put that movie in with the rest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should have just done the first six movies by themselves and then done this one as like a Patreon episode or something. Because
Yeah.
like it's so different from the other movies and it has nothing to do with the other movies. It's like a
Mhm.
straight up reboot.
Yeah,
So it's hard to mix that one in with these ones.
it is, but
Yeah.
hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
As for quality, I gave it a 4 out of 10. I said the original and the reboot have great production quality, and like even number six had like it had good production quality.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there wasn't like that super shitty CGI. Like the acting was actually pretty good, and
Hmm.
it kind of like it almost had a little bit of a turnaround on the original franchise.
Yeah.
I have to sneeze, but it's not coming out. Ugh. Um, but yeah, like in I guess from like 3 to 5 to come in now. My God, just escape my body right now, you fucker. Um, the acting and the CGI and just like everything just goes to shit.
Hmm.
And like the gore and the practical effects are still really good
Yeah.
in those movies, but like it doesn't tip the scale enough for how
Hmm.
shitty the rest of it is. Cause it's like,
Yeah.
wow, man, like you mentioned the fucking like the British actors forgetting that they're playing Americans and or a Mexican and
Yeah.
like the fucking grade 2 CGI effects that we see like that a kid could
Hmm.
make in fucking MS Paint. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
Yeah.
They really shot themselves in the foot with some of these movies. But
Hmm.
so yeah, overall story 5 out of 10 and the quality a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Just before I move on, I just wanted just to say, I know that we've pretty much bashed a lot of these movies, but please, like, don't let this deter you. If you've ever seen any of the sequels, just go and watch them because, like,
Mm-hmm.
you and me could never make any of these movies, even if we tried.
That's fair.
So
That's
like,
fair.
if you've ever seen any of the later movies, just fucking throw them on randomly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you'll probably have a good time with them. Honestly, just
Oh yeah.
us watching seven of these in like 2 or 3 days. It's fucking excruciating. um, but like you can't have a good time with these, and
Mhm.
people do like these movies. So yeah, don't let our ratings or us talking about them kind of deter you from watching them.
Mhm.
You can't have a good time with them. So
Yeah. Like yeah, and with that being said, like the only one I really didn't like was Bloodlines.
yeah, me
Like
too.
number 5.
Yeah,
That was the only one that I really didn't like. And like
yeah,
I found it to be like a chore to get through.
yeah, yeah,
All the other ones were like a good time. They're fun. Very
yeah,
fun movies.
yeah.
But yeah. All right, you guys know our scores. Let's head on over to Rotten Tomatoes and see what they've scored all 7 movies in this franchise. Like before, I'm not doing the critics' consensus. Um, do you want to guess the critic score on any of these, or do you want me to just go through it?
I'll do it rapid like before.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
So first wrong turn,
we're on turn. 67.
40%.
I was way fucking off. Holy shit. Okay,
Yeah, 40%,
40.
82 reviews, an average score of 4.5 out of 10.
Okay, based on that, we're on turn two, 34.
67.
What the fuck? What?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it is the
67.
now it's only based on 9 reviews,
Oh.
but
See, I hate when Rotten Tomatoes does that.
I know I do too. But yeah, no, I'm not going to give it away. Okay.
Okay. Uh,
Wrong Turn 3 doesn't have a critic score.
do any of the rest of them except for the reboot?
3 does not, 5 does not, 6 does not.
Why
So
does four? Okay, four, I'll go I don't even know, like 28.
43.
What? See, people like these movies, man.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
Do
Five
you
doesn't
have
have one, six
do you
doesn't
have
have
the
one.
audience scores?
I do, yeah.
Do you want to run those off real quick?
Okay. So the original Wrong Turn, 54% on 100,000 ratings and an average score of 3.3 out of 5. Wrong Turn 2, 45%, 25,000 ratings, 3.1 out of 5. Wrong Turn 3, 23%, 25,000 ratings, 2.4 out of 5. Wrong Turn 4, 28% on 1,000 ratings and a 2.5 out of 5. Wrong Turn 5 and the lowest rated in the franchise, 17% on 1,000
Oof.
ratings and an average score of 2.1 out of 5. Wrong Turn 6, 18% on 500 ratings and an average score of 2.2 out of 5.
So 1% higher.
1% higher. Um,
Jesus.
what do you think the reboot got scored?
I think I saw it, but I'm not 100% sure. It's like high 60s, I think, right?
I don't know. Guess.
68.
65
Okay, yeah.
on 65 reviews and an average score of 6 out of 10. Audience scored it a 54% on 1,000 ratings or a 3.2 out of 5. So
Nice.
I don't know if anyone was keeping track, but
I
according
lost
to
track.
according to Rotten Tomatoes, Wrong Turn 2 is the highest rated in the franchise. Now, given it was only on 9 reviews, so
Eh,
but even the audience score, it is the third highest for
hmm,
the audience scores.
interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What's Letterboxd
Nice.
have for us?
Letterbox. So I went all out with our stats again, just like last time.
Good, good.
So Ron Turn, the first one, has a 2.8 out of 5. I gave it a 3.5. You gave it a 4. I did have it at a 4, but I changed it to a 3.5.
Okay.
Ron Turn 2 has a 2.7, the second highest rated on Letterboxd.
Mm.
I gave it a 1. You gave it a 3. Ron Turn 3 has a 2.1. I gave it a 2. You gave it a 2. Same score.
Mm.
Ron Turn 4 has a 2.2. So zero point 0.1 higher than 3. I gave it a 1. You gave it a 3. Ron Turn 5 has a 1.8. I give it a 0.5. You gave it a 1.5. Ron Turn 6 has a 1.6,
Wild.
the lowest out of all of them.
That's
I
crazy.
I give it a 1.5. You gave it a 2.5. And the reboot has a 2.6. I give it a 4. You get a 4.5.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't look at all of our friends, but I know that our friends love the reboot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, so it calculated these out like last time.
Mm-hmm.
So the franchise on Letterboxd has an average of 2.3 out of 5.
Wow.
I averaged it at a 1.9.
Holy shit.
So didn't really like the franchise according to Letterboxd. You gave it a 2.9.
Okay.
So you like this franchise. And then together, a podcast on Elm Street rates it at a 2.4 out of 5.
So middle of the pack.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's fair
I think so. Yeah.
because there's only 3 of them that we rated decently high or like decent enough.
Yeah. I could see my scores changing though,
Mm-hmm.
like higher.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
again, yeah, you had to watch 3 of them in one night. So,
Yeah, that
and
was
like
rough.
all week I was watching 2 a night. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it gets to be a lot whenever you watch them in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
But cool. All right. You ready for the body bag section?
Yes, sir.
Start wrapping this up. All right, you disagree, but the kill count in this franchise is 92.
Damn.
92.
I mean, there is 7 movies, but yeah,
Yeah. Three Finger has the most kills out of anyone with 24.
I
And
believe that. Yeah.
yeah, and the reboot, as I mentioned before, has the highest kill count out of all the movies with 18. So yeah, lots of deaths in this one, this
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
What did you give the franchise for a scare rating as a whole?
As a whole, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Um, because I've driven through West Virginia
Mm-hmm.
and we're about to lose all of the fucking West Virginia listeners,
I don't know how many we have, but
but y- y'all need to, I don't know, work on your looks because the
oh,
further south,
Jesus
the
Christ. Yeah, yeah.
the,
Well, it's nice
the
knowing you all. Thank
the
you.
further south you go in the states, the uglier y'all get.
Come
And
on.
I mean, I'm no, no. It stops at Carolina because I know Chuck lives there, so
Hmm.
they're gorgeous. But in between, I mean, what's going on? What's
Jesus
that
Christ, man. Holy fuck. I can't
what's
believe that just came out of your mouth.
what's that movie that HMC got us to watch? The Wild Whites of West
Oh,
Virginia.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're from Ron Turn, real life, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Eh.
That is fair.
Uh,
Okay. Um, I
anyways,
also I also
I'm
have
not done
drove.
yet.
Okay, well, fine. Fuck you then. I was gonna
Uh,
tell a story about West Virginia, but fine.
okay, 2 seconds. The kills in this movie are like fantastic. Some of them are really hard to watch, even though some
Hmm.
of the CGI is really bad, but really good kills in this, man,
Yeah.
overall. And this could probably happen. So I guess I'm not driving through West Virginia anymore. What were you gonna say?
you you might not just want to go to the States at all unless you're flying right into Carolina at this point, or at least don't wear any of your merch.
That's true.
Um, one of the times we drove down to Florida, we needed gas, and we were in West Virginia, and we got off the highway to get gas, and it was the middle of the night. It was like fucking 12 a.m. And we pull into this little town in West Virginia,
Yeah,
and all of the houses had fucking uh like battery powered candles in all their windows, and it
yeah,
was just a super fucking creepy setting. And we pull up to this gas station, and it was literally like a one pump gas station. And
yeah,
we go inside to pay because you couldn't pay at the pump. You had to go inside. And there was like three guys in like the stereotypical fucking jean overalls, and like they're all overweight, smoking cigarettes. It was a dirt
were they
floor.
playing the fucking spoons and blowing in
You would
the
fucking
fucking
think.
jug?
You would think, man. And it was a dirt floor in this fucking gas station, and I was just like, I can't pay fast enough and get the fuck out of here and get back on the highway, because like
Yeah,
seriously, man, like Deliverance vibes for sure.
shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, maybe West Virginians are nice people, but
Yeah. I mean, it's all jokes. I love you, West Virginia.
and all the other states that you just kind of talk shit about.
Yeah. uh,
All right, what's the scariest movie in the franchise for you?
scariest movie in the franchise. I'll go with the first one.
Okay.
I know it's probably a cop out, but I felt like it had the most intensity, like we talked about the scene, excuse me, when I think Sawtooth opens his eye and like
Mm,
you don't know anything about the people that are here. Like their car breaks down, they get caught with barbed wire, and like
mhm.
you see all the cars that are there. Like I don't know, there wasn't any jump scares in this franchise. It was just all
Yeah.
crazy kills.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that one.
All right. And your favorite death in the franchise?
favorite death is from number 3. It's whenever they come across the tow truck,
Mm,
and the one guy who breaks into cars goes up to it, and Three Fingers catches him in the barbed wire that's attached to the tow truck.
mm,
And he starts driving away, and then the barbed wire uh constricts
yeah.
around this guy's body, and he's stuck in the barbed wire. And then the CGI gets very bad, but it's fucking hilarious. He's driving down the road, and the guy's in this barbed wire getting his face dragged around the fucking pavement. I loved it, man. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
really
it's good.
like number 3 a lot.
Nice. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And would you survive?
Well, probably not, honestly. Like,
Mm.
if I did go to West Virginia and I did get like pulled over or trapped in these fucking woods, like I feel like I'm smart enough to know directions and like how to get out. But like hand-to-hand combat against these three motherfuckers, like I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after all the shade you just dropped on West Virginians, you're getting fucked up.
Mhm.
All right. My scare rating on the franchise is a 3 out of 10.
Wow, we
Um,
were way far apart.
that's yeah, I was surprised. There's some wild ass gore through the franchise, and like a lot of the kills are super fucking cool, but like the fucking awful CGI that plagues some of these movies, man, like it
Yeah.
severely takes away from the effectiveness of a lot of these.
Yeah.
Um, but like yeah, the practical effects are really cool. The way that the three antagonists look like, they look awesome. They did a great job with all
Mhm.
that stuff, but then like just fucking shit with CGI. And like you mentioned, like there's no jump scares, there's no like real tense moments or like fear
Mhm.
inducing moments. So
Yeah.
it's fairly low for me. Scariest movie in the franchise, I said the reboot.
Really?
Yeah, the cult
Okay.
setting was like super creepy, and those skull masks, man, like they are fucking terrifying. Like
Yeah, they're cool.
they look very cool, but they're
I
very
love the
scary.
scene whenever you're at the end, whenever the main hillbilly with like the yellow eyes
Mhm.
like throws the Molotov,
Yeah.
and then Venable's like standing there with like the double scythe, like just fucking
Mhm.
looking at him, like sick.
Yeah, it was super cool. And like, yeah, flames are coming up all around him.
Yeah.
But just like this movie felt more realistic to me than all the other ones. Like, I feel like you actually could run into a community of these people.
Hmm.
Like, if you're in the woods, like deep woods. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, a close runner up for me would be the original one as well.
Nice.
My favorite death in the franchise is Carly's death in the first one.
Okay.
That
Nice.
axe to the face, man. Like, and I chose it. Like, there's a lot of other super creative kills that are like way more creative than this one. But when I think of this franchise, this is the kill that always pops into my head. And like,
Hmm.
I've seen most of these movies before,
Yeah.
but none of them stuck with me as much as this kill did.
Yeah. And also, just to add on to this movie, like I feel this is the only movie in the franchise where I actually care about the
Mhm.
characters,
Yeah.
because like Carly and her fiance, like you find out they just got engaged, like they're like cute little like playful stuff they do together. Like
Mhm.
she runs away and hides and scares him. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
They felt like real characters, like
they
real
did. Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my favorite kill. Her getting her head chopped in half up against a fucking tree. Uh, and would I survive? I said not against the hillbillies, but maybe in the reboot because, like,
Okay.
I honestly, like, if I didn't have a family, like,
Mm-hmm.
I could fucking join that little clan. I mean, I don't think they're
All
good
right.
people, but I mean, if it meant my survival,
I
I
mean,
I would do it.
you can't even build a fence, man. How are you gonna survive there?
I would lie my way into their cult.
Okay, fair
I would
enough.
think of some bullshit excuse that I could be useful for.
Okay.
All right. This is a long episode.
It's our longest one in a long time.
Yeah, man. Like we're pushing
2 hours.
2 hours and 15 minutes, I think, now.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up.
All right.
We've talked wrong turn long enough.
Yeah.
Um, Overall, we had a lot of fun with these movies. I think we can both agree. Well, you've already said it, but I agree with you that like I'll watch these again.
Yeah.
I had a good
Yeah.
time with it. I bought the first 5 movies in a box set like a long time ago, and I never went through all of them.
Yeah.
So this was, I don't know, it was fun.
I don't know why
Regardless,
these aren't available like on physical at all,
like
right?
separately.
Well, even like together, I didn't see them.
Oh, I must have got lucky then because I have them on disc.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first 5. It's only DVD, but
Hmm.
I could got them at Walmart like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. So thanks for listening. If you guys want to catch us on social media, you can find us at a podcast on Elm Street on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you click the link in our bio on Instagram, you'll find links to our TeePublic account where we have our merch. There's also links to our Patreon account if you wish to support the podcast that way. And there's links to our individual Letterboxd accounts, our Discord server, and anywhere that you can listen to us. Brooke, what are we watching next week?
Next week we are shortening our franchise watch
Significantly.
by quite a bit. Uh, what is considered a franchise? Is it like two or more? I guess 3 or more.
I don't know. I never really thought of that.
Probably 3 or more.
Yeah, 3's a trilogy,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Yeah. We are doing Sleepaway Camp.
I'm
And,
excited. I've never
me
watched any of
too.
them past the first one.
Oh, I was gonna say, you never seen the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen the first one too, and I've only watched it like for the first time like a couple of years ago. No, probably 3 years ago now.
Yeah, I feel like I remember you
Yeah.
mentioning it.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Sleepaway Camp. I'm excited. I don't know the last time we've done like an 80s slasher movie, honestly.
That's true, actually. It's been a while.
On while.
It has been a while. Huh.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm excited.
Me too.
I feel like that's another franchise that gets real poopy after the first one, but we'll see.
Hey, people love it, man.
I know.
Yeah.
People love cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, talk to you next week, guys.
See you later.